especially to our instructor. Ma'am, good morning. Today, we're going to tackle about voluntaries in human act. So first is perfect. When an act is performed with full knowledge and complete consent. So a voluntary act is perfect when it's done with full knowledge and complete consent, like fully aware ka sa tanan nimo gipangbuhat. For example is kung kusang loob kang mohatag og donasyon sa mga tao nga nagkinahanglan. Next is imperfect. When there's some degree of ignorance, fear, or external pressure affecting the act of reducing full knowledge or consent. So, a voluntary act is imperfect when it's lack either full knowledge and complete consent. So, the person is unaware to some crucial facts that would have influenced their decisions. Example, nipirma ang usa ka tawo sa kontrata na wala siya kabalo kung unsa to or wala gipay balo sa iya nga unsa to or naglibog siya.
Direct and indirect voluntariness. Direct voluntariness, an action is directly voluntary when a person deliberately wills it. They intend for an action to happen and consciously choose it. Indirect voluntariness, when an unintended effects result from an act that was freely chosen. Direct voluntariness is when someone chooses to perform an action that happens immediately, while indirect voluntariness is when someone chooses to perform an action that causes another action to happen.
So let's proceed to positive and negative voluntariness. First is positive voluntariness. When a person actively chooses to do something, helping someone in need. Positive voluntariness refers to a situation where a person actively and willingly chooses to do something. It implies a conscious decision to act, often with a positive intention. Example is a doctor choosing to work extra hours to treat patient during a pandemic. This is a positive voluntary act because the doctor is actively choosing to do above and beyond their normal duties to help others. Second is negative voluntariness. When a person chooses not to act when they should, failing to prevent harm when one has the power to do so. This means that conscious choice to remain inactive in the face of a situation requiring action. For example, a lifeguard failing to rescue a drowning person due to the negligence or apathy. This is a negative voluntary act because the lifeguard has a duty of care and the power to prevent harm but chooses not to act.
So conditional voluntariness. It refers to an action taken freely but with certain conditions and limitations. So the example of conditional voluntariness is Emily works overtime because her boss promised her a bonus. And the second one is simple voluntariness. It refers to an action taken freely without an external coercion. So here is an example of simple voluntariness. John chooses to donate a charity without anyone influence.
Actual voluntariness. This refers to action performed with conscious and deliberate choice at the moment of action. This person is fully aware of what they are doing and choose to act. Example, deciding to order pizza online at the moment of clicking order, you are consciously and deliberately choosing to make the purchase. Virtual voluntariness. This applies to action that were previously intended at the influence of that original decision continues even a person isn't actively thinking about it at the moment of execution. The action of is still considered voluntary because it stems from a prior conscious decision. Example: setting an alarm clock of the night before. You consciously decided to wake up at a specific time, even though you're asleep when the alarm goes off. The action of waking up is still considered virtually voluntary because it's a direct consequences of your prior decision.
So now, I will be going to tackle about habitual and interpretative voluntariness. So first, we have habitual voluntariness. An act is said to have habitual voluntariness when it was once intended but is not currently willed at the moment of execution. So, habitual voluntariness is a person once made a conscious decision to perform the action but now it happened automatically due to the ingrained habit, meaning there is no active intention in the moment. So, example, automatically brushing your teeth tagabuntag without consciously thinking about it because it's become a routine or na habit na nimo. Second, we have interpretative voluntariness. An act is interpreted as voluntary when it is presumed that a person would have willed it if they had been able to express their will. So, what is interpretative voluntariness? There is no explicit intention formed because the person may not be fully aware of the situation, but their presumed intention can be inferred based on their values or belief. For example, a person unknowingly walking in the patch of grass that is off limits because they were not aware of the sign, but pag makabalo na sila, they would have avoided it based on their respect for rules.